Hello everybody. I'm out in the backyard tonight trying for the first time to use my new Sony digital video camera, and thought for the first time around I'm going to just kind of take some pictures of preparing dinner on the grill and on the brazier. So the menu tonight is going to be bratwursts, hot dogs, baked beans out of a can, and French fried onion rings, which I'm going to do in the chicken fryer pot that will be sitting on the brazier. So that's the plan, and we'll see how this works. So here's our setup. Got a cutting board, plate to put the onions and stuff. We're going to start out with a batter mix that's going to be about half white flour, half whole wheat flour, and about a spoonful of baking powder. And we just kind of mix it together a little bit. Dry. And this is going to be a beer batter, so for cooking we're going to reverse the rule number 8 from the regiment, and instead of saying drink the good beer first, we're going to drink the cheap beer first. I want it a little bit thin. I don't want it real thick batter, so I guess we're using the whole can of beer. I think maybe just to give it a little bit of extra flavor, I'm going to go inside and get a little bit of paprika to throw into there, or something like that. Not a lot, just a little. Okay, I'm just going to rearrange a little bit here and start to chop up my onions. I've got 2 Vidalia onions that I'm going to use to make the onion rings with. So just chop off the ends. And peel off the really dried up papery stuff. I've got a garbage bag over here that I'll throw this stuff into in a minute. So we'll just, and you can see I'm trying to get a fairly thick slice here. There we are. 7 layers of onion. We'll pop the rings out. Then I'll dip them in the batter and put them over on the plate there. And of course, the other thing I really got to do pretty soon is start the fire, or we're not going to have anything hot to cook them on. So I think I'm going to stop pulling these apart and start the fire. So here I am over at the grill, and I'm going to start the fire and let the coals get going, and then half of the coals are going to go down there in the brazier. That's where I'm going to do the onion rings. And the rest of the coals are going to go right into the grill, and that's where we're going to do the bratwursts and hot dogs and the baked beans. So I like this chimney method of starting fires. We've got a bunch of charcoal briquettes in there, and there you go. It says grills are not one size fits all. That's today's paper. Just set that down, and hopefully the charcoal will catch. Now, being as this is my first day with this new camera, I have no idea what all the fancy settings are on here, but there's a lot of them, so I'm purposely leaving it today at purely automatic, and we'll just see how it works on an automatic setting. So I've added a little bit of mild cayenne to the batter, and don't you know, no sooner do I think I want to talk to you guys and get all this done, my neighbor across the back way there starts up the lawnmower. So I'm hoping that that's not too noisy. So we're just popping the onions out into rings and ignoring the sound of the lawnmower in the background, huh? That one popped out real easily. Look at that. Okay, so, well, we'll try to give you a picture of the fire itself down there in the charcoal chimney. I don't know if you can see it, but I can see little bits of orange coming through there. Really can't see that. I don't want to get too close, burn myself and melt the plastic on this camera. So then let's go from there down to the brazier. This is a nice little device that we picked up, oh, probably 10 years ago at the Oshkosh period trade fair. And put charcoal in it. It acts kind of like a charcoal chimney, but it's got a cooking surface at the top. It's a little bit rusty now, but that's okay, because we're not going to be cooking directly on the grate there. We're going to be, here, I'll show you the grate with my foot. See there, it's got a grate, and you can lift that up. I'm just going to put charcoal down in there, then we'll put the cast iron chicken fryer pan on top of there and get that oil nice and hot that way, and that'll work out really nicely. Well, hopefully, I don't know if you could hear them there. Just as I turn it on, you can hear the bells over at St. Norbert's Abbey. We're only 2 houses away from the Abbey, and they ring bells almost every evening and a couple times every day. Let's turn this. I hope you can see this. So what I've got there, you can see my brazier with charcoal in it, and you can see the bit of fire there, the orange. Got one of my nice low tables off to the side of it with a cookie rack, a cookie cooling rack, and a couple sheets of paper toweling under it. That's where the onion rings are going to go after they come out of the fire, or out of the oil. This puppy is going to get very hot, but that's the idea. Pour in maybe about 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch of oil. Maybe just a smidgen more. Kind of seems like I'm bouncing around a bit from pillar to post as I'm doing this, but the oil's over there on the brazier starting to get warm. So now I think it's time to start to dip the onions in the batter. And for this, I don't know if it's better to use your fingers or to try and use a tongs. I'm going to use my fingers. You see, these aren't as heavily battered as some people would do. I like my batter a little bit thinner. It's not quite as thin as tempura, but it's not a real thick batter either. I just wonder if there's a faster way. Maybe like pouring all of them in. Okay, you can just see a little bubbling there. That's because I dropped like 1 drop of batter into there to see how it's doing. Looks like it's coming along just fine. So let's see what happens if I put in a couple onions. See how that works. What do you think? About done on one side, flip them over? I think I may have to actually thicken up my batter just a little bit, which I can easily do by adding a little bit of flour to it. You watch those for me. I'm going to go get a little bit of flour. Starting to look good. Put those up on the rack up there. Cool. This is a little bit thicker, not a lot. I'm about ready to take these out. As soon as I get them out, I'm going to give them a quick little dose of kosher salt. Tell you what, you can't beat this for good outdoor cooking. We'll just have one more onion ring. Then I'm going to turn the camera off, pull some of the food off the grill, go inside and have dinner. And after we get dinner, everything cleaned up, wash the dishes and all that kind of stuff, the charcoal fire goes out, I'll see if I can't splice all these different pieces together and get them posted up on YouTube for you can see them in. Enjoy.